Another one.
Hello and welcome to Another One podcast.
We have a Patreon. It's one of the best Patreons in the game.
By best, it's more of us.
Hundreds of hours of content. There's specials on there.
Three
specials. 2 live shows. It's one of the best Patreons around. You won't regret it. Sign up. £3 a month. That's all it fucking is.
I can't promise you it's one of the best or the most valuable, but if you enjoy us,
I think it is.
It's the only way to guarantee this carries on.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So,
Genuinely.
It's up to you. Would you like this podcast to carry on? If the answer to that question is yes, then why not part with 75p a week by signing up to our Patreon?
Patreon.com/Another One podcast. Sign up to it. You don't even have to enjoy the content that's on there.
You don't even have to watch it.
No.
Just
sign up.
75p a week,
Yeah.
so that you get your public episode every week, guaranteed. Because if it drops below a certain level, it will stop.
75p a week.
The minute this costs us money again, it's gone.
Yeah, and it's
Barely even.
so. Please,
For the love of God.
yeah, please. Now it's beyond a joke. Now there's only one podcast that needs the money, and that's ours. We're absolutely brassic, and we've got the most outgoings, like dependents.
Another one.
What's happening, everyone?
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 141 or whatever it is with me.
442.
Another One podcast with me, Simon Wozniak, and with me is co-host, brother in arms, brother from another mother, comedy comrade, Robert Thomas.
What's happening, people like that?
And joining us,
I didn't know I was in this bit.
we've got
He's done you nasty.
debutant,
He's done you dirty, like.
Mr. Marc Jennings.
Hello, nice to see you,
And
boys.
in a new bit that we've got for the podcast,
Just guest
Mark's,
seating meal deals.
scanning his meal deal.
He's
Is it
a-
a meal deal or is it just a wrap?
He's got a
It's just a
bougie
wrap.
one.
Is
He's
it
got a
just
Starbucks meal deal.
Star Wars?
Bougie. Yeah, Starbucks meal deal. It's bougie.
What is it a meal deal?
It was an impulse purchase. I got the coffee, and then I was thinking I should go to Greg's or something.
Right.
I thought I've not got enough time. I was already running a bit late.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I
fine. You can turn it whenever you
Seen it
want.
was a nice wrap, and I thought I'll go for this, but I bought them separately. So even if there was a meal deal
There's no
offered,
deal.
there was no chance I was getting
It's
it.
just a meal.
It's just a meal. It's not even really a meal. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
And a coffee.
Well, he was in the ship and might having it. How long you been in the pub for?
I walked in and it was like one guy in the barman, and I went, "Do you know Simon?" And he went, "I know a lot of people." And then him and his mate start riffing. He goes it's like, "Do you know Jock or whatever?" And you're like, "What?" Like, I was just like left. I was like,
So you walked in and you thought that's where we record. So you
But
said,
I
sorry,
thought-
I didn't mean. I thought we'd be there. So your message going outside it or something.
I never read it because you said get to the ship, mate.
Yeah.
It's just around the corner. I just said, "Oh, they obviously must just record in a pub." It's like,
Yes.
that seat would suit the vibe
Right,
entirely.
yeah.
That'd be a dream,
Well, if
yeah.
we could get a room there, we would, but we had to come down here. But one day.
We should
Also,
start getting pints from here before we start.
what, and bring him in here?
Yeah, takeaway ones. Love a little Guinness while we're doing this.
Yeah, but can't do that, can we? It'd be too. It wouldn't end.
Or should we
would
get
it?
ourselves one of them perfect pint pourers things? Like a perfect draft thing.
I did also think it would be appropriate for you, Simon, because I know you've got your problems with,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the drinking and
Yeah.
that.
Mark told me last night, the last time I was with Simon, I had to go off the ale for a bit and
It was-
thought about getting a PT.
See, when we
Yeah,
got,
yeah,
when
yeah.
we went out in that night out in Glee,
Yeah.
we stayed up to 5 in the morning, and that doing that with you was my rock bottom.
Right.
That was after that. I'm like, right, something needs to change. This is
Yeah. Well,
It's all gone too far.
I think we're very similar because we both spoke about being fat, but not fat enough to moan. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I say, he's privileged because he can call a fat cunt, whereas we can't. But we
It's
feel
just
like a fat cunt, don't
just
we?
all fucking act.
Yeah. like we can't we can't go, you fat cunt, can we? Because we're not fat enough.
You were doing that on stage in
Yeah.
the Glee, and I've never related to
Exactly,
that
but
so
some
much.
people don't get it, and it's annoying. 'Cause we
It's-
live in that middle bit, don't we?
Because I've tried to do stuff about like
Yeah.
struggling with food and try to lose weight
No,
and all
you're
that.
too tall
And
as
nobody wants to hear it.
If
Nobody
you,
wants
if
to
you
hear it.
did that, I'd go on stage afterwards and just tear the shit out of you.
Yeah.
I used to have one joke. I
This
used to,
cunt thinking he's taking our jokes.
I used to have one joke that would go better the fatter I was.
Yeah, all the time. All the time. Although I think sometimes. What was the joke? Go on. What?
I used to say I didn't want to get in a relationship for the same reason I didn't want to buy a new pair of jeans, because I thought if I give it a few months and lose some weight, I could get ones I'd like a lot better. And see, when I was like, see post lockdown, that was killing. And then I lose a bit of weight and I'm like, this just sounds harsh.
It's horrible, isn't it? Because whenever you got that in your set, they always put one in the front row, don't they?
What a fatty.
Yeah, you're thinking, for fuck's sake, I've got to do 30 here. I needed that 2 minutes.
But it's all relative. It's kind of like, you know, whenever you see somebody moan about getting older, there's always somebody that's going to be older that'll be like, fuck off. And it's the same with the weight thing, isn't it? Like,
which is why you've got to try and drill down to the real bit of you, I think.
Yeah, you're good at that though, like, because the fact that you're moaning about how you can't moan about it is great.
It does, it stresses me out. Also, you said that you went in that pub and someone say a jock.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was about me or whether it was just like a thing people say.
Is jock racist?
I would say so.
You would say so?
No, I don't actually think so.
What
but
are you asking me for?
What I would say,
I don't know.
It's one of those ones.
Would you feel offended that we called you a jock? Do you know the etymology of it? Where does it come from?
I think it's just a lot of Scottish people are called jock or something. But it's such, to me, it's such like a throwback thing to say. And obviously you never hear it in Scotland. But I remember going to London and I was going to a comedy club, and one of the bouncers as I walked in was like, "Oh, right, jock or whatever," and I'm pure. Like, it got me.
Right.
I'm like, fucking, what? I'm just trying to do my job here. I can't even get this slander. But it's also because it just seems like, you know, like you don't even really know how to respond to it, because it's just, you know
how it's been said.
We never hear it in Scotland. Nobody says jock in it, and then you hear it and you're like, all right. Like,
but what is the etymology? Do you know the etymology or not?
No. I'm assuming it's just because a lot of guys were called jock.
Do you reckon?
Aye.
I'd Google it, but I can't be bothered. Should we Google it?
The worst one is sweaty socks. Even if they say sweaty sock, though, is the rhyming slang for jock. That's the worst one.
Oh, so that's like double racist.
It's like double racist.
Right,
yeah.
racist squared. Hang on. Jock. Yeah.
This is the first time we're ever going to Google on the podcast. I normally like bullshit calling it.
Hang on. Scottish. How was the hot water last night, guys?
Very enjoyable.
It was sound for me. The jock had people kicked out on this.
Oh, really?
I enjoyed it, but
me middling.
No, I was just opening.
Oh, bullets.
And well, actually, just before I went on, I seen the
Who
guys.
had the sweet spot?
Ian
Smith.
Oh, Smithy got the middle, did he? Yeah. Oh.
But just as I was coming, I seen these guys come in, and they came in quite a bit late, just before I was about to go on. Yeah. And they just looked. They were a wee bit further up the back. They looked just, you know.
It's about 12 Welsh fellas on a stag, and someone asked them to be quiet. One of the female bar staff, and apparently he grabbed her and asked her for a kiss. So,
did he?
Yeah, so couldn't even wait to the break. It was one of them. It was like,
see, if I was on, I'd have got the blame for that.
You can't.
Well, the thing is, because obviously I was noticing something was happening in the room. I couldn't see, but I was just like, once or twice I nearly went to say something, because you know that way you tell a joke and you can just feel the audience they're distracted. But I just thought, you know what? Like, there was so many people in, and there was so much at the other side of the room. I thought, I'm just going to power through here, because I won't be able to see what's going on. It's not going to go anywhere. So
how
just
far into your set were you?
Probably about halfway, and then. But then by the time I finished up, I think it probably took them about 5 minutes to get them out. Yeah. And then by the time I finished up, they were away, and I was glad I just left it. And then, particularly when I heard what it actually was, because imagine I'd went, "What's going on over there, guys?" And they're just
and then it just goes. Yeah, it's getting it back on track, innit? After that, you're thinking,
I think loads of
that's work.
Loads of the time taken was no one else knew what had gone on, so all the stag had been like, "Why have we got to go?"
So did they come in when the MC was on?
Yeah, they come in just before he come on.
Chapman, who's Chapman or
Freddie?
They didn't even get one section. But like they came in at the start, after the start of the show, and left before.
So did Freddie speak to them as they were coming in?
No, they were like right. They were quite stage, far up back.
Was it full?
Was this just about 400? Just about to bring him on, and then like I say, it was they come in, and you just do it a bit like noisy, not dead noisy, but getting drinks and that. Right. But then the reason it took them so long to leave is because they were all like, why are we going to leave? Because none of them knew what had gone on. Right. Because the girl came to tell one of them to shush, and I saw his arm go. I didn't see him grab her, but I saw his arm like lift, and then like he said something to her, and she just stormed out. And like then the bouncers come in and just like kicking them all out. But there was just loads of like what like you could see the other end of the row.
Yeah.
Who I didn't have a clue what had gone on with this fella because he just sat there smug as fuck, like thinking he'd done nothing wrong.
Was he fit?
And like and his mate and they were all older guys. And his mate was just like, why? Like they're just a bit like, I've just been sat here and now I'm being told to get out.
Yeah.
And like, so it was more just like, what's going on? And then,
But do you know the thing is, like, because there was like a few stags and hens and all that, and they were all fine.
the rest
Like,
of them
everybody else was good. The crowd was great except for that. But
two of the stags, like, so they got kicked out. And then one stag while Ian was on was quite funny. It was like, the song, like, the ants go marching 2 by 2. It was like they're watching them leave 2 by 2. Like the stag was leaving 2 by 2. Hurrah, hurrah. And they were just, they were in for the first section. And by Ian's section, they must have just gone, why are we here? And you just see them get up and leave in twos.
Oh, like a stag do that was sound?
Yeah, they were sound. But you could just tell it a bit like,
don't want this.
why are we here? Like can't talk. They all just want to get bevied. And like they weren't even being disrupted. They all just left literally in twos.
Sat outside.
And just went and sat outside in the bar having a laugh. You sort of respect it, like fair enough, lads. You took one look and gone,
yeah, because if they had anything about them, they'd have ruined that night and then left. Yeah. That's what I think they should have. As a stag do, they should have gone. You know what I mean? Like, that's a gang of fucking...
I love how if you weren't a comic, you would be a disruptive stag do member.
I don't know what I'd be. I don't know what I'd be like at comedy night if I didn't do it.
Aye.
It depends on the crowd.
Well, do you know, there's so much more likely a chance that you would be disrupted because if you didn't do it, you would still have that wee thing in you that thinks
you'd want to do it.
You'd want to do it.
Or, I don't know because obviously something in me made me do it, didn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe I would have that fear of I don't want to be a tit in public.
I don't know, but then there's that sliding doors. Because I think before I'd done comedy, I would have been more likely to have...
I would have.
Yeah.
If I was with the lads.
I think you want attention, don't you? You want to be the funny one. You want the women to look at you.
Yeah.
So therefore you want to be the funny one and dominate. So therefore maybe you would try and heckle. But it depends what life happens to you. So like if you're 18 and you're like,
it's like the fucking butterfly effect.
If you're 19 and you're going like, oh, I want attention. I want him to be in the walk in the bar and have everyone look at me and go, it's him. I want him.
Yeah.
And you don't get that, but then you don't do stand up. Then eventually, when I'm 30, I might be awful, like an awful sales rep who's just horrid.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, oh,
terribly sexist.
Yeah, just awful.
Absolutely.
Like I might have gone to the gym loads. I might be in better shape. I might just be awful.
Oh, you'd be like,
and it'd be like, oh,
you're good. That's awful. Everything you're describing is like,
you wanna be in shape and an honourable face,
in shape and no fear to get away with it.
But now I'm just a really empathetic.
I'd probably have a wife that I love and a big mansion.
I'd have everything be perfect.
Do you know, before I started out, because I used to go to the stand a lot with some of my mates for school, and I remember one night we went on like a Saturday night or something, and there was 2 seats down the front that no one had sat on, and as we came in, the compere's like, if anybody sits here, I'll buy you a drink. So me and my mate just went and sat down the front, and the guy got taught, it was Joe Heenan was the host, right? Who obviously I now know, but at the time didn't.
Yeah.
And Joe, he's great, right? And he was like, so obviously gets talking to us in the front row. And I was studying English at uni at the time, right? So I didn't want to say that. But one of my mates was a window cleaner, right? So I just said, he's like, what do you do? I'm like, I'm a window cleaner, right? And he goes, have you seen any fannies? And I went, just you, mate. And it got a laugh. And he took it and he's like, fair enough, but no, that way of like, you get that as an audience member and you go...
Oh, did you like that?
I liked it.
So you get it then. Yeah. So you get it. I've never heckled and I've never.
But to be fair, I wasn't heckling. I was
Is
just.
that better than getting a laugh as a comic? Because I imagine that would be fucking good if you go, that would be amazing.
Aye, it was good. Like, but sometimes audience members that happens and you've got to give them the laugh.
You've got to
get
it. Gary Ireland got it on Monday. Last Monday, he's going to ask the bouncer, "What's the worst thing you've ever seen?" Just you, mate.
Yeah. Well, that's
like, you can't. You've got to let him have it.
I remember after I started and I spoke to Joe and I says, "Look, you probably won't remember this, but I was actually in the front row one time and he was kind of like half going already. Like, I'm not going to remember." And then I said it and he went, No, I do actually remember that.
Oh, comic will remember. Because comic will be like...
Because that's got to happen, once a year?
I want to nail that.
Aye, that somebody has a
maybe
good...
once a year, maybe, or if you're an MC, I don't know, I don't MC.
Because everything in him wanted to nail you then, but he's like, I can't because they're like a cunt.
Absolutely.
I'll lose the audience because he's done nothing wrong.
You've got to give it up to them. And to be fair, when you're a compere particularly, like, that's... All you want is laughs in the room. So if it's somebody that says something that makes them all laugh, fine, take it.
You say that, but come on. You know the ego gets to you a little bit. You know you're a bit like, fine, I've done my job. I'm going home tonight. But in your head, you're going to be like...
Do you ever say anything, though, in your set, and you're going, I know there's an easy heckle there, and you're going, I've got to try and address this before you say something. Yeah. You know, you got a bit and you're going like, I'm going to say this about being miserable, whatever, and then there's an open goal there for someone to just heckle it.
Yeah.
I'll just hope they don't heckle that, because if they do, I go, I knew you were going to say that, but fair enough.
I used to have a bit, and then someone heckled it, got a big laugh, a woman, and I was like, I need to address that before they heckle it, because just, again, ego kicking in going, I'm not having women heckling me every week going, no wonder she's not shagging.
Well, that's what I mean, something like that.
Yeah.
There's a joke I do when I open in England, and I talk about the accent being difficult to understand, and see if somebody heckles me saying, what? It makes the punchline 10 times better. Because it makes it more appropriate.
Do you ever leave a little pause in the hope that...
Sometimes I do, but...
A little bit of hesitation, so you get brave enough to just, like, you need a nudge.
I remember doing it too much, though. I left the pause, and then it was, like, almost obvious. And then when it doesn't come, it kind of throws you.
Yeah. I had that sometimes with banking on, like, there being a couple in the front row. You're thinking, sometimes I can't bank on this. And you're thinking, oh, shit, how do I get into it now?
Yeah, I used to have a bit where I'd say something posh, and 9 times out of 10, the audience would go, ooh, and you'd have a bit for nailing. Don't be fucking judging me, you cunts and all that. I can do what I want. And then whenever it never come, it's like, shit.
Yeah, then you get nothing to kick against.
But in me thing, I'm thinking, but I want that other bit, because it gets boss laughs. And you're trying to sort of fucking, like you say, you're trying to force it. And I'm forcing it going, normally audiences do with that. And I get to go like this. And then you're just fucking stupid.
Well, Jamie had it on tour with his, he did a bit. And then I remember Cardiff Glee. I don't feel bad speaking out about this, because he fucked me over on Instagram telling me that I went 3-0 down within the first 5 minutes. The Cardiff one, he went around, I think it was like three couples he went around to try and get this bit in.
Oh, no.
Like, part of a show, usually, all of his gigs generally seems to be a ginger in the front row. Yeah. Whether they coordinate that or something, but there always seems to be a ginger in the front row. But he was going around at Cardiff and he was just speaking to these couples, and none of them fit what he needed for the bit about talking about, like, ginger, hair controlling him and saying, like, you don't want to wear that top or whatever sort of thing. Yeah. But none of them were given that. And then eventually got to the third one. I think he just had to go with them and be like, you guys will fucking do. And then it was sound, but it was just like, when you know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't got a clue.
No.
They don't know he's fishing for 3
when you know
couples.
what he's searching for. Yeah.
Like, they don't know he's fishing, but like, we're going, oh, he's not getting what he needs. He's not getting a bite. And I love that when that happens.
Oh,
when you
that's
see a comic like, oh, he's looking for that, but he's not getting it.
Yeah.
Do you feel that the audience have got more of an awareness now that it is an act, or do you think that there's still a general thing of like, oh, he must just be making it all up?
No.
I think it's a bit of. I think it's a bit of both.
Both.
I think they're still very. So they know it's. I think they know it's an act, but when someone comes on stage, and like you say, they're looking for the same answers. Yeah. I think they still believe that that's random.
Yeah, because it's annoying how well, like, something, like, particularly when it's something manufactured, obviously, but it's a bit of crowd work or whatever, does so well in the room. Yeah, it always does so much better than your.
I remember when.
I
remember my sister coming to see Milo Troy Oak for the first time.
Yeah,
and like, she was early show and a late show. She come watch the early show and was like, oh, it was brilliant. And I was like, you might as well shoot now, because it's going to be the same thing. And she's like, oh no, I'm going to hang around. And I was thinking, what are you hanging around for? It's fucking shit. And I thought, oh, she just wants to hang around the comics. And then she watched Milo again. She come in, the face was just dropped. And I was like, what's up? And she's like, oh, it's just, he just asks the same questions till he gets the answer he wants, doesn't he? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I thought he was just going off everyone's first answer. And I was like, no, he just got the answers he wanted straight away in the first show. And she's like, I thought it was all on the spot. And you could see how gutted she was.
Yeah.
She thought she was going to see a second show.
Oh.
And he was going to do different answers depending on the question.
That's so
I was about different things depending on the question. And I was like, oh, no. It's like, that just ruined it for you. She was like, it's still brilliant, but... Yeah, I was like, is that why you hung around? She was like, yeah. And I was like, just watching just like Father Christmas isn't real for us, sort of thing, just being destroyed by it.
The magic of stand-up is erased after more than one viewing.
Yeah. Well, Tom Taylor had that at Just It's On It, where the showrunner, even the person who was running the show, was like, I love that little like off the cuff bit you did about like the waters being shallow, and he was like, and then they seen him do it the next night, and they were like, oh. Yeah, they were just a bit like, oh, I fucking hell, I thought that was just off the top of your head. Like, cause he does this bit, and then it's just like when it doesn't get a bit of a laugh, he'll say this, and it's just something stock that and then it's just like, oh, right. So I don't know whether they still think it's real or not.
But you know, Rob, it is funny you see staff do it though, because you watch staff when they first start working in a comedy club thinking everything's amazing, and you come off stage and they say, my God, that was incredible, and you're like, yeah, and then you see them 3 months later and like, there's that fat dickhead again.
You can tell that they're new if they tell you they enjoyed your set.
Or you can tell they're old by saying they enjoyed your set. They know what to say. They go, it's good that, mate. And like, they've seen that you die and they go, oh no, I need to help them out here. But I can't remember.
But if it's real, if they think it's real.
Sometimes I'll have to say in my head, I'm going, oh no, I'm doing this again, like verbatim, and I'll have to go in my head and go, they think this is all, like, you know, because you've got your rhythms of what you're saying and the beats of what you say, and then you're like, and you feel like you're a robot, and like, I need to get myself out of this because my head's spinning, and then you got to go, no, but they think, and it sounds to them like you're just talking normally. Yeah. But there are beats and rhythms and bits you hit. You know, you're in a bit in your head going, and you're speaking it, and then you're going, where am I up to here?
Oh, do you mean like you stumble over something and they don't realise you stumbled over it?
Well, you're just in a bit and then your head just goes and then you're just speaking the bit and then you're not even in the... You're just sort of thinking about, why am I here? Hate this. What am I doing? Yeah. And then, but because you're just saying it and then you had to actually think about what you just said.
That's it.
Like, I've got to a bit, because mine's quite wordy as well. Yeah. I'm like, I'm speaking the words and I'm just like... I don't know what I'm saying here. Yeah. I'm just in.
Do you ever get rhythms. It when you forget what's coming next? Like you
all the time? Yeah. I just stand there now. I've got to just stand there. And they think it's part of the thing, because I have a breakdown anyway. They just think, oh, he's having a couple of seconds. In my head, I'm just thinking like, where the fuck am I up to?
The less prepared you are, the more it feeds into the act. It's like, it makes it look as though...
I'm always to and fro about that, going like, Don't think about it. Think about it. Because, you know, some people like, you need to prepare. Like, although you look like you're not preparing, someone who's really great will be fully prepared. Yeah. Whereas sometimes I'm thinking, just don't prepare at all. But then sometimes that'll go well. Sometimes you'll be like, oh, shit. I should have prepared.
Yeah. I had to do the weekend. I was saying to my birds, like, what's up? And I was like, both gigs went well, but I was shit. And she's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, I didn't read my notes before I went on. I didn't go through what I was going to go through. I said, I was trying to, like, be free. So I was in my head thinking to myself, you don't want to be robotic. You want to be sort of free and go on stage. So I tried to go on loose. I said, the whole time just panicking. Yeah. I said, I'm stumbling over stuff. And they always don't know that. They're all laughing their heads off. But I'm in there going, I am not flowing here. Yeah. I am not in a state of flow. I am just
your perspective in a panic of how well the gig is.
What the fuck's going on, sort of thing. Yeah. And in my head, I'm thinking, I want to do different bits and different places. I don't want to do the same order. And like I said, both times went well. But I'm like going, I am not great here.
But then I think sometimes when you are panicking like that and you want to do a new line because you're thinking, this gig's just a gig, I need to get something myself in. Yes. Because you're panicking and because stand-up can be so fucking bleak and miserable and hard, you're thinking, just have a good gig. Do something that's... Because if you try and do a new bit and stumble over that, not only are you not prepared anyway, you've now just done a bit that's tanked and you don't feel in control. When you're flying and you're smashing it and you've done everything well, and then you throw the new line in and it gets a big laugh, but it probably shouldn't get a big laugh because you're just so
the momentum of
ready.
It gets you a big laugh.
But like when you're going, I don't want to be here, I'm tired, I don't know what I'm doing. You just think, just get to the end and have a good gig. And you get there, you do the same 20, you leave and you go, I've got nothing from that gig apart from the fact that it went okay. Yeah. I survived. And
you
then
landed the plane.
Yeah. Do you ever feel that way?
I think it's better to do new bits when you're struggling, me. I tend
that's the thing, isn't it? You go, well, what's the fucking point now?
Yeah, the good stuff's not going well, so I might as well.
Well, the other week, the frog, not the frog, the beer colour in Manchester, I was pulling teeth, like. And then I did a bit, I've been working on it for, fuck it, I'm just going to do this. Because what had happened, the fella for the first act, some fella's been a knobhead, and have you done beer colour in Manchester?
I've not actually, no.
They're all like, it's like tables long ways on benches, so they're all just facing each other. Yeah. So they want to ignore you.
And there's a gate.
There's a gate.
A garden gate, a random.
So is it like playing the music bit of Hot Water?
Yeah, it's a little bit like that.
Yeah.
And it's so they want to ignore you. They just face the front. They just don't turn the body, and they're not facing the stage, and they're sort of not doing anything wrong because they sit on the bench as a normal person. But you're a bit like, look at me, you cunt. And there was one half fella who just didn't want to engage, had his back to the stage and was facing forward. Like I was just like, I was adamant as having him. And we were talking, and then the first act come on, he starts ripping him a bit, and he just does the same thing, just faces the other way, back to the stage, the lot, and then starts rolling a ciggy, and then gets up and goes outside, while act's still on, to go and smoke his rollie. And then I start laughing, then I come back on for the second part. After the break, I was trying to get something. She started joking with him about smoking a rollie. I was like, I've got a new bit here about my uncle vaping, so I just fucking threw that in. And then it started. No, it's done all right. It's done all right. But then I ended up getting 3 lines that I didn't have beforehand from it, just because of the fact that I was fucking pulling teeth. I was thinking I need something here. Yeah. So I started going harsher, and you just go, fuck it, I'm just going to go down to the bone. So I was going to, at least you've got the good grace to go and try and contract cancer and die early, you cunt. And they all just burst that laughing. I was like, maybe that's the route I should go down then with this new bit. And then tried to get on Thursday, they went well again. Then I was like, fuck it, maybe that's the line then.
That's more beneficial than any gig then, if it's dying and then you get a line out of it.
Well, that's what I mean. I was made up then, but then it's only the only reason I've done the
do you think the energy's off?
I've got nothing left.
Yeah,
I've got nothing else.
So therefore, when you go to try that when you're not panicking, you might go, "Oh, that's just."
No, but I did it when I wasn't panicking and it went well. Right, okay. And I'm thinking maybe the fact that I've tried to be too nice in the new bit, thinking the new bit's strong enough as it is, just just the idea of anyway, because the idea is like my uncle started vaping, a big pink vape, and he's a fucking homophobe. Like my whole life, he's just spent like the way you just walked up and down up the street with an umbrella. First thing in my head is went the fucking gay.
Yeah, no, I did think you would say that when I turned
up. No, I'm very much the same as you. You are my Scottish twin.
Aye, so you would use a brolly?
I can't have a brolly.
We've got both mini brollies.
I can't have a brolly. Because my uncle...
You've not got any hair,
my
so
dad, my dad, my uncle's head is just my voice is just in my head going, that's fucking gay.
Free shower for him when it rains. Got mini head and shoulders. Doing that the bus.
No more scalp.
But this is these are the same guys who are now puffing a pink vape.
So now he's puffing a pink vape and like at my nan's funeral, and I was like, I'm not having this.
Yeah.
You can't be doing this.
Maybe he felt freed that she was dead, and he thought I can finally embrace my true identity.
Maybe she was the problem, and he's now my problem.
Got a brolly out and everything. When they're lowering her down. How many years I've waited for this?
Well, I need him to die so I can be free. So like that's the joke I was trying to make. Like, how that cunt because it tortured me my whole life. Yeah. Because it pinned me down once to shave my head because I started gelling my hair. Just like ripped the belt off me once because it was gay. Because it was a rope belt, emo phase. Just fucking ripped it.
So you didn't smoke beforehand?
No.
Oh, so he's just a vapor.
She just started vaping. Right. Big pink vape and like
they are weird, them, especially older people.
Yeah.
Like kids, it's the new ciggy, they're just vaping at school probably, but like if you've gone to 50 and then started to vape is odd.
Because I just thought that'd be funny enough, the fact that my uncle's vaping, he used to be hurt, but you really need to paint the picture properly for people. So like, because of that gig, I could come away with the lines of my uncle started vaping, I preferred it when he used to hit me. And that gets a laugh. And then when I explain how much of a homophobe he was, that sort of gets a laugh then, and I get to be at least I wish he had the good grace to contract cancer and die a hero rather than lose the respect I've got for him now.
You see, I find with mine, I die a lot. So like at Nottingham, I was going, it was fine, but I thought I'm going to throw this in.
Yeah.
Just died. The bit just tanked. But it's a bit I've been trying for years, and it's just about the crowd, I think. It's like, when it needs to be like a white collar, it's like a white collar bit.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking, oh god. So I've got to make an assessment. So there's certain clubs go, right, like white collar stuff for these lot.
Yeah.
Like fucking blue collar for like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just, and
you gone white collar the Frog now, haven't you?
I've gone white collar in certain clubs, and then certain gigs I go, right, I'm gonna have to go blue collar here.
That's a really good differentiation, I think, between audiences, the white collar, blue collar thing, because it's true of a lot of them. And
so you've got office stuff.
yeah,
You've worked in an office, but you go to some clubs and they'll be like, these are builders.
yeah,
These are builders, and these are fucking.
Don't want to worry about you. Not
They don't understand anything to do with the corporate world. But then you go to some gigs where, like, maybe parts of London or something where they're all IT and business.
yeah, they're all wankers.
They're all officers.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have a clue about fucking going down, fucking building walls or something. They'd be like, why are you doing builder jokes? We don't get it.
Absolutely. Well, I remember I used to, like, when I got to London at first, and I was like, I had stuff about working in a supermarket. None of them worked in supermarkets. Like, they would go to clubs, and then none of them lived with their parents because they all live in London. And like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, not all my shit was irrelevant to them, and they weren't Scottish.
You gig down in London a bit, though. You get
down. I get down. One of my mates from school he stayed down there for a year, so I used to just go down for like 2 weeks and sleep in his couch.
Right.
And then I would just book in like loads of gigs, and you just try and go down and get seen and whatever, and then all that happens and it doesn't matter anyway. No one gives a fuck.
So have you stopped going now?
I don't go as much because
it's pointless, isn't it?
Genuinely isn't worth the time.
It?
But what I used to do was I'd go down and book it all around top secret, but now they like book on the day, so you can't even do that.
Even I just fucking fucking me.
And to go back to actually when we done that weekend, I say you were my rock bottom, but it wasn't necessarily that.
Fine.
But do you remember?
Colin Holt spilled red wine on my shoes. So that's it. That's me up till 6 in the morning.
But it was because I'd been on the road for about 2 weeks and I'd been drinking basically every night. And I remember I was telling you about my foot was really sore, and I'd convinced myself I had fucking diabetes. Like, I thought I'm having diabetes or something like that, right? But so I'm shaking myself, going like, I actually woke up like a morning or two before and went, like, whatever, like I had that realization of like, look at the way I've been drinking and eating. What? Of course, like, what do you think's going to happen? And then I didn't drink for like a night, and then ended up, I was just gonna like, fuck it, and we ended up staying up to 5. But after that, honestly, I came back and I'm like, I need to sort my life out. I got a fucking PT, didn't drink for 6 weeks. It was fucking hitting the gym, eating well, and then I went to Germany and fucked off.
Well, that happens with me. Is the Glee weekend is a tricky one, isn't it? Because the Friday you are sort of stuck with something to do.
Yeah.
And when you get someone on that you get on
You
with,
normally find someone to drag.
I'll normally find someone.
I was telling you, like, Jimmy, normally someone he corrupts. And
Jimmy McGee, yeah.
He tied it with Jimmy McGee, and then Jimmy McGee just
put me to bed,
That was Simon's rock bottom.
He's sunk red wine like, oh, he's a fucking ship, mate. I started drinking a lot earlier than him. Because I think I was opening all Midlands, so therefore I was on it from the buzz. He only started after the show because he's a professional, and then we just went back, and then we just kept carrying on.
Yeah, it's good fun, but innit?
Yeah, it was alright. Who was on that weekend? Colin Alton. Who was
Colin, me, you, and somebody else. I can't remember.
They're obviously boring cunt then. Obviously went on the ale then.
It wasn't. Oh, it's annoyed me that now.
Did it maybe change between Friday and Saturday or something? I think I can't remember. Sorry, whoever it was.
Sorry,
I'm not listening to this.
What I was going to ask you something. Oh yeah, Jock racist. Hang on. Should we find out?
Yeah, let's find out why.
So what's your situation back at home?
What do you mean?
Misses, kids, anything?
Nah, none of that shit, man. Nah,
You're totally free.
I'm completely I've ruined my life for comedy.
How old are you now?
33.
I'm 30. When's your birthday? What month?
August.
Oh, by the way, guard up at all times, protect yourself at all times, have a good clean pod.
It's on you to say that. If you say something you don't want to say, that's on you.
Yeah, so you usually do it at the start. Like I've been doing it a bit later on in the episodes, which is a bit. It's like the referee calling the rules at like round 3, but I like to say that as guard up at all times, protect yourself at all times. Because if you get someone else, like Michael Mannion was a good example of this. Good defence. Do you know Michael Mannion?
We ask you a question you don't want to answer. Basically, it's on you not to answer it.
No, of course. I mean, I have been on a recorded thing before.
Yeah. No, but what we mean is we will push you.
Okay.
Yeah, Mannion wouldn't tell us his age.
He wouldn't tell us his age?
You know,
no, he was like Mayweather, mate. You know,
yeah, we went at him and he was fucking...
Wow.
He had a good clean guard.
Right. Hang on, just before we get into the situation... jock is the Scottish diminutive of John and has been adopted as a term for Scots. We're all Jock Tamsons, Bairns.
Yeah. That means we're all Jock Tamsons, Bairns means we're all the same, basically. We all come from...
We're all Jock Tamsons boys, yeah.
Yeah.
Kids.
So is that racist then?
Well, no, that sounds like a Scottish phrase.
That's what I'm saying. It's because people are called Jock because it's like as
basically, I used the term Jock on my stories, and I was thinking, is this racist?
Do you know what it is?
And then I was like, oh shit.
Here's what it is. See, if you're a Scottish person, you see an English person say that, you think they're a cunt. And whatever you want to say, whatever it is, it just... you come across like a bit of a cunt. Yeah, right. Yeah. We'll just think, fucking English cunt. Because it's listen, there's nothing away with it. It's punching down for you guys. It's punching down.
It's like the P word in Australia. Australia say it all the time, but we can't say it because we've said too much horrible stuff around it.
I think they just say whatever the fuck they want over there. To be honest, like I don't know if it's necessarily
that it's loads of places and like it's not offensive, but when the English say it, it's like
because it's a shortened version of the full word.
Yeah, because it's just a shortened version of the full word. But when we've said so much shit around it. Like fucking, like horrible. We've been so horrible with it that now it's like, no, you can't say it anymore.
Well, then there's another word that's out of me lexicon there. So that's two.
You're learning a lot today.
That's 2 words I'll never say again. Have you been to Australia?
Yeah, twice.
Festivals and that, yeah.
Yeah, done Perth and Adelaide in 2020 just for fucking COVID kicked off, and then I went back and done Perth start of last year.
What inspired you to go out there?
Well,
Alan Anderson.
Scottish comedian of the year.
Obviously that's like you win that competition and you get to go out and do it. And but I'd been choking to go for years because my cousin was in Sydney, and I'd always said every year I'm like, I'm going to win this competition. And go out.
You're good at keeping up with people miles away, aren't you?
What, how do you mean?
We got your friend in London.
Oh, yeah.
Cousin Australia.
You're one of them comics who turn up. You know them comics who go, why are you doing a gig 8 hours from me? I was like, it works for me. I got family. Like, I got family everywhere. You get a gig within half an hour.
No, are you one of these people who's good at keeping in touch, or are you just one of these people who's not asked about going, hey, can I sleep on your couch?
No, do you know, I don't do it that often, and like I think like just that guy for London, he's just like basically was my best mate in school. Like so.
Hey, where are you? Where was you last night?
Was that?
Where was you last night?
Where'd you stay? I just had Premier Inn.
Right. Because you were out with your mates. I thought you might do it again this weekend.
No.
Like, that's free now.
No, but I have been lucky with that. Like at the Fringe for a couple of years, I had a mate and he just let me stay on his couch for the first 2-3 years. And that way, when you start comedy, you're fucking
it's a good money spinner for the Scots, though, isn't it? The Fringe.
Well,
you can really cash it. Conor Burns was like, that's his circuit. I was speaking to him at a gig, and he was like, the circuit's like can pay a bit, but then Edinburgh's where he just fucking cashes in
terms of selling
tickets and just
well, he's from Edinburgh.
That's what I mean. So it's just like a
it's funny because it's like you do the Fringe as a Scottish person, and it's like all the London mob come up, and everybody from London goes and sees them, and if you're Scottish, you just get a bunch of wankers for Fife. They all come in the train. Like you can always tell every Saturday and Friday and Saturday and all that. It's always I just get loads of folk from Glasgow come through in the train. You know they've been sitting with cans and fucking all this shit.
So you make money, but it's horrible.
But it's
not horrible, but
it's real work.
You know, good luck doing your artsy fucking. You know,
good if you had the show Monday to Thursday of like really deep and like you thought like. Crying stuff, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you just fucking.
You're honestly so bang on. Yeah, you're so bang on there. It's unbelievable.
Like?
So if you got reviewed on a Friday versus a Monday, it'll be a different show. Almost.
I had 2 reviews last year that both mentioned the behaviour of the audience. The Scottish crowd did not. It's like the majority of Scottish crowd did not cover themselves in glory.
That'd be an idea for a show, though. If you had 2 hours and you did it the same year, but you did Monday to Wednesday or Sunday to Wednesday as like all about your dad dying or whatever it is you're doing, and then on Thursday, Friday, Saturday it was just fucking 60 minutes.
Just Monday to Thursday maximum drinks. Thursday, Friday, Saturday minimum drinks.
Yeah.
Like the same, it's 4 drinks.
Like that would be
more
good.
Than that Monday to Thursday.
But
you got to have more.
Imagine the work involved. You'd have to be like fucking hell.
Like you got the review
2 different shows in 1 month.
Honestly, would be a good show. I think that would be.
It wouldn't need to be that different of a show.
No,
you just have to like.
chop out the stuff.
Some jokes and then you
Or just do the show or talk about the sad thing in a funny way.
Yeah.
Don't just be sad about it.
Yeah. Just go, this happened, fuck it.
Rather than going, when my dad was just dead sad, I was being like, oh yeah, cunt fucked off, didn't he? It's like different, framing it differently, saying
when that selfish cunt killed himself. Oh.
Absolutely, yeah.
Does anyone want a water?
Yeah, please.
I'm alright then, I was getting this.
She went to Australia.
Australia, it's good there, man. There's a lot of expats and stuff out there, a lot of Scots and English and all that. So, like, I found that.
What was the deal for Scottish Comedian of the Year then?
How do you mean?
What got paid for?
Nothing, basically, but you get, I got to do a solo show for, a month in each city.
I thought if you win, he pays for your flights and all.
I think it got decreasingly good. The deal got decreasingly good each year. But to be honest,
Campbell got the best of it, didn't it? I think Pew got a little bit stung.
Yeah.
He was waiting a good fucking
Anderson,
18
you're a
months.
fucking rat, mate.
but no, it was unreal, like fucking experience a lifetime, and I got so lucky because I was trying to win that competition for a few years just to go, and then I won it end of 2019, got to do 2020, and literally the week that Adelaide ended is when everything started shutting down with COVID and shit. So I got the whole fucking trip, including I went to Sydney, like in between to visit my cousin. Went done the Comedy Store in Sydney. Actually, there was like when I done the Comedy Store in Sydney, right? Got a spot. Go there. I'm on first. Larry Dean is hosting. So we were in fucking Sydney, and it's two cunts from Glasgow, right? So I checked with Larry before, but I said, my opening line went on, obviously Larry does his bit at the start. I got and I'm like, alright, so as you can tell by my accent, like Larry, I'm gay. And I thought it's a good line because it just suddenly gets it out of the way that this is so weird that these two Scottish guys, and we laughing in, and you go. But no, it's incredible. Like you would love it, like because it is just basically like here, but in the sun. It's fucking unreal.
Just can't get
It's
over
the
there.
time over there, innit? You can't be away from my wife and kids for that long without just fucking pure guilt. That's why I was asking what your situation was.
All right,
Was he saying you're mirroring each other? I can see the difference. I can
just
see the freedom in his eyes.
Yeah.
He's just got that little glow of
talk about a sliding doors. I look at you and I'm like, oh, fucking glad I wanted you.
Just like that.
You could just see in the eyes the dismay.
But he's had best mate in London as well. I'm the same.
Is that right?
What does he do for a living?
Oh, fucking, I don't know. He's
not a teacher.
He's like a quantity surveyor or something. He's back up the road now, so I'm not getting anywhere. So I need to fucking stay in a hotel, which is another reason why I don't go to London as much, because it actually fucking costs money to stay there. Nah, no. But I think the thing is these days, obviously, like, with podcasts and fucking online shit and all that, and obviously everybody in the fucking Northwest is a great example of, like, it doesn't really matter where you are now, as long as because where you are is on people's phones. Everybody's on their phone, so if you're on that, it doesn't matter whether you're recording it here or in London or fucking Dubai.
Stop reaching people, like you say. You used to have to go to London to be seen, to get on telly, to reach people, whereas now you're reaching people every day, aren't you?
Exactly. So
so when did you blow up online? What was your clip? Was it a clip or was it just a gradual one?
No, I had a couple of viral ones.
What's your following? You got good numbers.
60, isn't it? Something like that.
Do you know? At first, it was on Facebook because it was like back when it was kind of about 2017, 2018. So I was working in the call centre and I had a routine about that.
Yeah.
And then I basically I filmed myself closing Red Raw at the stand and done that bit, and like later that month, I quit my job because I had to quit because I'd run out of holidays and I needed to do the Fringe.
Right.
I'd taken all my holidays for other gigs, fucking going to London, whatever. And then I put out that clip.
They weren't accommodating for you to try and just have unpaid leave.
Do you know, I used to have a couple of bosses that were alright about, like, they would, like, see if I fucking had to go ahead, they would, like, let me away an hour early and that sort of shit. And then I got a boss that was just, like, by the books. So I just had to start lying to him and, like, kidding on my uncle had died and shit like this. Like, so it's annoying when you need to do it, because I'm like, look, I would just tell you the truth if I knew you could, but if I knew if I just said this, you would say no, so I need to lie to you. But, so I had a clip about working in a call centre and I put that on Facebook and it really blew up, and it was like a couple of weeks after I'd left the call centre, which was mad timing. And then I remember, I think I was doing like the Free Fringe or something that year, and suddenly fucking started like, it was only like a 40 seater and we're turning people away and the Fridays and stuff, like, it was like, it was crazy. And then I had another one about Scottish phrases that done well and all, and so those two, like, I sold out my first like debut run at the Fringe just off of the back of that clip, basically.
Where did you do? What room were you in?
I was just like, again, it was like the stand, it was like a 40-seater or something, but it was like,
right, yeah.
I mean, straight, like, it was just fucking, was like,
So your call
like
centre clip's the one that got you...
Call centre, and then the Scottish Faces one done, I would say, done
Because
better.
you didn't just sort of come from nowhere to have that mass following.
Well,
You didn't do TV,
Oh,
right?
no.
No.
I thought you had a decent... You not got decent agents and stuff now?
no, I've not got an agent. I did have
I
briefly.
thought you'd done TV and stuff.
Because
Nah.
I think we gigged, I don't know, ages ago together beforehand, before that call centre. But look, I'm sure I've definitely gigged with you in
Yeah,
early doors.
probably,
I don't know where,
aye.
maybe like a hot water or something.
And maybe it would have honestly been like Hilarity Bites or some
Maybe
shit like
something
that. I
like
used to go
that.
and do that kind of stuff.
Between.
But no, like, well, what actually was weird was I did, because I was saying I would go to London a lot, and I did get seen by an agent, and then I never heard from them for months, and then they got back in touch right before August 2019, and they signed us because they'd moved fucking, companies and all that shit, and loads of stuff that I didn't know what was happening at the time. But so they ended up signing me, but it was just before the Fringe, so they couldn't do anything for me for that one.
Yeah.
But like, we'll work towards next year, 2020, which obviously then never happened.
Right.
So like it was all building towards that, and then when COVID hit, they ended up like quitting. So, but by that time, all my success was coming through my online stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So I just it was already a bit awkward of like, well, okay,
You're not doing anything for me.
well, not even that, but just like, it feels like I'm doing like I've been doing alright on my own. So like since COVID and that, I've just kind of kept doing that.
So you're not bothered about getting signed anymore?
I would, I would be open to it, but like, as you say, like,
Just some big paychecks from...
I know that, I understand the lay of the land, and that, maybe I'm not really selling something that they're necessarily looking for to pitch to telly and all the rest of it. And also, it's out of my control. So like, I just keep doing like the podcast, the fucking clips, put them online, put specials and all that shit, and then, and we'll see what happens. But you want to just build yourself up now, and I suppose the good thing is it's harder, but you get all of the benefits if you do it on your own as well.
Are you touring, or are you...
I'd like to tour next year. I need to, and I'm working up a new act
Have
at
you
the
got
moment.
a pod or anything, or just doing clip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some laugh pod.
Some laugh, yeah.
Aye. So we do that, and that's been
You
good.
should do alright touring then. I've seen we're doing tour sports, and like CBO's tours tend to be the most active, most engaged followers. There seem to be podcast fans.
Yeah.
They're the ones who buy the most tickets. Like, 'cause everyone else seems to be selling at like 1 to 10.
Yeah.
So like, you've got 60,000 followers, you hopefully sell 6,000 tickets, sort of thing. Whereas podcast ones, they seem to be like 1 to 3, 1 to 2.
I do worry that like a lot of my, not even worry because it's a good thing in a way, but like a lot of my people that follow me are based in Scotland primarily, so it's like I could do a bigger room in like Glasgow or something than I could do elsewhere, but I don't know, like, because you see people do these tours and they're mental, like in terms of the places they go, particularly like down south and all these mad weird places you've never heard of.
Well, Sam Avery, I think when he was doing his tour, someone did the analytics or something, and that's where he recorded down like on the south coast, didn't he?
Yeah.
They went, your biggest thing, like you'll be able to sell well in like Bournemouth.
Is there?
Yeah.
Do you find that? Would you say most of your folk are kind of in the northwest or whatever?
No, not really. Like, so most of them are like
Hull.
close to Scouse. Most of them are close to Scouse. We've got a weirdly large following in Hull.
Really?
So every time I go and do the whole comedy lounge,
Where I'm destined
there's
for,
like,
Marc.
there's a good fair few fans in.
Aye.
And then where's the others?
People
like,
are moving to London for their career. Wozniak goes left when the circuit goes right. Hull is the new Austin. Austin.
I know.
like, there's a fair few in the northeast and stuff. So it is spread around.
Yeah.
There's a lot more active ones around here, but I think that's again because you're local. You think they know you a bit more.
Absolutely.
So they're probably more likely to message you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the like fans from miles away treat you like.
Is it exotic to people in Hull?
Well, I don't really know where they're all based. I mean, there's not like.
It's not loads.
Not loads.
That's not what you told me before you asked me to come on this.
It's all right. I'm sure your numbers are better, but like the numbers aren't too bad. But it's just to find. I think we spend so much time as well belittling our audience.
Yeah.
That they leave us well alone as well.
Yeah.
So we quite often get messages after gigs going, I was there that night. And you could have come today, and then you realise we've told them to fucking leave us alone.
It's a nice...
For every pod for about 3 years.
Well,
I think some of them do.
I think sometimes it's just you meet them and they know so much about you, and
that can be weird,
and it's just a bit like you can meet you meet Chris Brown, you get a photo, but he's not chatting to you because what
a weird example here, Chris Brown.
I love the way you are, Chris Brown.
Yeah. No, but you're looking at me.
I'm such a fan of all your domestic abuse, Chris.
Yeah.
Well, I actually watched the video of him trying to justify what happened that night.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Read what they say.
Well,
I'm surprised you've not had them on
it
this.
was sort of like a phone.
Should we ask?
Going through the phone, then she starts battering him. They're in a Lamborghini. I'm butchering. I don't know. Watch it yourself. But he's in a Lamborghini, and she's trying to batter him going through his phone. And she's saying like, oh, because somebody messaged him saying, are you going to be at this after party?
Right.
And he hadn't read or something, but then she was like, the fuck this? And then he was like, it was just an innocent thing like that. So then she starts going mental on him, apparently. She starts punching him and everything. So he's there trying to drive the thingy. Yeah. And then he says, he I don't know, he shoved the punch to whatever. So she's biting her. And basically he's trying to land this car while she's twatting him. Right. They get into a car park where... They get into a car park and then she gets out and she starts smashing all his CDs or something. Like his new music, something like that. Right. And then he's leaving and he's thinking, I can't leave you here because people are going to see. If this is it, people are going to see all this mess going on. So you just get in the car and we'll go somewhere. But she was kicking off apparently going like, oh, and then he was like, oh, this is all mad. So then I think he drove off and like left her or something, or I can't remember what happened, but he was trying to justify his side of the story. Right. And then he sees the photo and he's like, oh, that's just not me. Do you know what I mean? That's just not me, and I regret it, everything like this.
That's just not me.
Right. Well, it's nice to hear his side of the story.
Yeah. What? Did you come away from it feeling like, oh, well.
Do we need to stop doing that? Yeah. Do we need to stop doing an ad break for Andrew Tate's Hustle University right now, by the way?
Don't get me started on that legend, Marc.
I know, I should have brought that.
I'm messaging him every day. Fancy coming on? If you're local to Liverpool.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Who's this?
Andrew Tate.
Oh, let's not get this. This was maybe you talking about how fucking podcast fans know too much about you.
That's it.
Right, so you meet Chris Brown, this is what you were saying.
No, sorry, no. So I think I've got a chest infection. I've had it for months. Yeah, no, but you know when you meet them, like, if you know, and you're sitting there, you're thinking,
you've got nothing to say to them.
Yeah.
And
you ever had that where they just linger and you're thinking, what?
Well, I've been doing a bit about how, like, I always assume that nobody knows me and stuff like that. Yeah. But obviously, when you are out, occasionally people do come up and they say they like the pod or whatever. But the worst one is when you can just feel somebody staring at you, and because you can't go around your life going, oh, have they noticed me or whatever. Yeah. But sometimes you do get the feeling of like they've probably seen my stuff. So you try and avoid eye contact, and then it's made me realise that this is what women I fancied have been doing to me for years. Where I'm like looking over trying to catch their eye, thinking, oh, maybe if I keep looking, they'll finally see me. I didn't realise this whole time they're going, what's this fucking creep keep going over?
You haven't got me being Chris Brown. All these people want to fuck you, do they? When you're in Spa.
No, I'm saying this is the opposite way around. I'm the creep looking at him.
Right, so you don't want to keep looking at him because you think, oh, he's going to think we're friends then.
Well, it just
opens going, oh, no, because I know he wants to be my mate.
It's because if he catches eye contact, he can then be like, oh, I don't.
Yeah, or even then I catch eye contact expecting him to do that, and then he fucking just doesn't even know me anyway. Like, so it's just a weird thing.
I suppose you're a little bit got more profile than us two. So I think if you had 60,000 followers,
but in my head I've got 100,000.
But Jamie's very well recognised around Liverpool. So I'm thinking if you're around your ways, then they'll be thinking there's a good chance they probably do actually know you. So I kind of understand it a bit more with you there. But
I get it
sometimes, and I'm thinking, oh my god, like I did it at the Mackey's drive through the DX driver here. The DX driver came here, and we were walking down. He's like, "You've been doing a podcast up there?" His eyes were like, oh my god.
It's bad though when they see you right here because then they know exactly what you do.
Well, we have to just make a joke going, "Oh, it's not glamorous, is it?" And he's like, "No."
I remember going into him.
Expected so much more.
I was over at Stephen Buchanan's place, and as we were walking into his flat in the close, like a guy goes, I didn't know you lived here. Like literally, he's got at his front door, and you're like, that's not what you want, is it?
I've had it a couple of times on the school run.
Oh really?
Yeah, you see dads like sidling over to you in the playground. You're like, oh no, he's gonna know who I am. I'm like, big fan, and you're like, oh, for fuck's jocks.
Yeah.
We're just not famous enough. We're too regular, aren't we? We're just too regular to have anyone like you.
Every time someone comes up to me, there's a part of me going, I don't earn enough money for that's like to have to deal with it. I'm like, can you just get in your buy a ticket now?
Get all the grief for Michael Jackson, but with none of the benefits.
Well, it's a bit like, it must be a bit like being like an attractive woman, because it's like you don't get any money from it, but you just kind of go places where guys coming up to you and fucking try to hassle you.
Or our level of fame?
Well, even I think like TikTok fame. Yeah. But it's like, because, if you can capitalise it.
Yeah, that's all the free stuff in it, that's why.
That's it, I mean, you don't get any money.
You get loads, but every now and again when someone gives you something, you're like, get in.
Yeah.
And I imagine fit women just get that all the time.
Yeah.
What,
like attractive women are famous?
Not just attractive women.
No, but they just get hassled a lot, but it's like, it's not as if I'm it's sure not a celebrity, at least they're fucking rich.
Do you think they do get hassled a lot?
I don't reckon an attractive woman, if she wanted to, would ever have to pay for parking. Just pretend that she hasn't got change.
Well, Simon's not even downloaded the Ringo app.
Like what? Just loitering around car parks so I have to pay for fit women's parking.
What do you mean?
Well, I just think if I think if I was an attractive woman, I could just go to the park.
Same way like I've got no change.
But you can.
And there'd be at some point there'd be a man going, I'll
because they can go out with £5 and come home with 50.
That's what I'm saying. There's an attractive woman, like they get loads of stuff.
If you park your car and leave, right?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They wouldn't leave. They wouldn't leave. They'd be by the display machine and be like, I've got no change.
At some point, there's going to be somebody.
If it were one of us, they'd go, I fucking got that in it. Go and walk the shop. Where's the fit woman? I'd be like, I'll pay for it. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's just a dad's buying a bear to drink at a bar.
Well, that's what I mean.
The urban sort of bar.
How long would you need to wait for somebody else to be at the fucking pay machine, though?
There'll always be somebody. There'll always be somebody.
Car parks around. Well, because everyone's got fucking Ringo on their phone now. They don't need to go it.
I think I'll get my batteries flat. But even then, I'll re-register my whole car just for you.
That's what I mean. Even then, you just go, I'll just do it for you. Love watch your reg.
Yeah, no, being attractive is phenomenal, isn't it?
You might reckon you get away with loads of stuff.
You tell us.
Simon Chris Brown, wasn't it? Yeah, but you're the same. You got in really good shape. You'd be fire.
I know. I know. That's what I've been telling myself about 10 years.
when I get in really good shape, it's over.
Yeah, but you're not far off, are you? You're 12 weeks, 12 to 16 weeks.
Tantalisingly close. Yeah, I'm always like, it's like that joke I'm saying with the gym. It's like, if I had 3 months.
Yeah.
But, I just need to not do gigs for a while and fucking not stay up to 5 in the morning with you.
Yeah, there's always a reason. There's always an excuse in it. You're mental health as well, innit? Mental health's a big one. You just think, fuck it, and get on the white wine. I did that last night. Fuck you know. Lovely bottle of Sauvignon Blanc. It's been in the fridge for about 2 days.
I can't believe you
got in at 11:30. No, midnight. I think.
How'd you have ale in the fridge? How'd you have ale in the house for that long?
Well, because I've been having other ale. I've been having beers and that, but like this bottle of white's been there. I'm thinking.
I'm too lazy for that, mate.
Would you ever consider quitting? Would you ever think?
Yeah, every day.
Every single morning I quit.
Do you think
I quit this podcast in the morning. I quit stand up. I quit everything in the morning, and then I go out and I do it all. I go right. I said the last record. This is the last gig. I'm not doing it anymore. I don't enjoy it. I can't do it. I'm sick of it, and I think I'm stopping ale and I'm getting fit. And I do all them things, but I never go to the gym. I go, I'm going to the gym. I never go to the gym. I go, I'm not doing the pod. I'm not doing stand-up, and I'm not doing ale. Mm-hmm. And then I'll do the pod, do stand-up, do ale. And I'll think, but I'll go to the gym, but I'll never go to the gym.
Yeah.
That's how I live my life. Stress.
I know, it's a lot.
Do you ever think about giving up?
Stand-up?
Yeah.
Nah, not now, but like, you do think about changing the way you do it. Like the circuit, like you see everybody touring and stuff.
Yeah.
And you go, and then you
can't keep turning up in pub windows.
Yes. Yeah. I can't have my face.
Gigs in cafes,
I don't want my face on a poster next to a burger anymore. All this kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? But
or your face photoshopped over the act that they did have originally.
yeah.
That was me last week.
I had that with Sam Avery. I was looking at it thinking, that's not my fucking neck.
He's
in the old Oak with Toby show. That's not I don't own that jumper or I have that neck. It was a good neck, do you know what I mean?
But Michael Legg last week I had it with.
Did you? Yeah. What, your head on Michael Legg neck?
No, they just deleted Michael Legg off the poster. Everyone was in like this frame. and then Michael Legg has been taken off and I've been put on. So
It's a real like for like swap that one on.
They just deleted Michael Legg and just put me on with no frame or nothing. Just my photo just looks like
oh my god,
thrown it on themselves.
Whoa.
And I just gone, oh, we haven't got time to make a pretty frame. Just bang that out.
No.
So you're thinking now, well, because you got the profile now. Surely you are looking like there's an exit plan now from the circuit for you.
Well, it's a weird one because, like, as I say, I've not toured, and like, so you look at like Jamie or Big Mike and all that, who've obviously got bigger followings than me, but like, and you go, did you see a lot of people touring, and you go, it's probably the next step to at least try, and you know you don't know how. I don't know. The thing is, you don't know where your ceiling is, and you don't know how many tickets you could sell.
Wouldn't you get someone like a tour manager come and do it?
Yeah, maybe I probably should do that.
That's
but
what Jamie done with what
Tony.
And I just need a new act in this, so like I'm working up a new act, and then
Tony Comer's good for like acts. Like she seems to do a lot of the like Mike Rice. She did Victoria, didn't she? In that.
Yeah, she did Victoria. She did Jamie and stuff.
Yeah, I'm maybe need to look that up, but
that up.
But yeah, I think
it's handy for them. You want someone to go.
And she's dead sound.
Either you're thinking too big, or you want someone to sort of guide you in that way, don't you?
Absolutely, because I do think that it's weird as well, because people that follow you and stuff, the stuff never comes up, or they never see your tour, and then you've been somewhere the last week, and they go, when you coming here? And you're like, fucking was just there.
Yeah.
So there's all of that, but we'll see what happens. It's interesting, but yeah, you do sort of like when you realise, like, you know, when you start out, all you think is, I want to do weekends at clubs. Yeah. And then you do it, and you go, this is shit.
You just see everyone that you start with getting other things and getting more money for doing the same thing you're doing.
Particularly now when everybody's got like everybody can, you know, build an online following and then fucking touring, and you go, God, this is a mugs game still. Just
we've said this on the pod before, but I don't think people are starting wanting to be closers now.
No,
I think they're starting wanting to be big online and then I don't know what they want to do with that.
Yeah, people aren't starting. We started to get on the circuit, and once we got on the circuit, we want to get off it. Whereas people aren't wanting to get on the circuit full stop.
They want to be big
the
online.
Circuit's not even a thing for them.
Yeah,
like Vittorio's never done a weekend gig. That's so funny.
I mean, well, no, he must have done, but like I know what you mean.
No, he says, like, I was at Sports on tour a couple of times. He was like, I've never done a weekend club.
But the thing is, if you start and you want to get big online, but then you don't get good live, then they are going to come unstuck when they go right monetizing, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Like,
but then
you have got to do the work to be.
Yeah, you do
to keep an audience entertained for an hour.
Well, most people do. Like say Vittorio's good enough that he could do a weekend club sort of thing, but he just never he sort of bypassed it, and he has done enough gigs before he got big to then get a decent level of stand up. Whereas, like you say, some of them sort of don't even get to that level of stand up before.
Yeah, I know, but it's a weird thing because you do. You do always want to be able to, you know, if you could just drop into a club and be able to smash it. But on the other hand, it's like, you know, maybe you should just like play to your own audience and focus more on building that. But you always want to be a good comic, but more and more now it seems like other things.
It depends what you get famous online for as well. Like say Vittoria was all stand up, whereas someone like Abby Clark seems sound girl. She's working hard to get good at stand up, but her following come from sketches and stuff that. Jack Skipper, the following didn't come from stand-up.
He's very good.
Well, because the following didn't come from stand-up, you're thinking, well, they don't really need to get to the level of being a closer or something. They just need to be someone who can do an hour's show to their audience.
Yeah, but that's true of his own, really.
Expecting a killer, are they?
That's true of his own, and I do think as well. I don't know if it matters so much with this.
I don't know, because
they're going be patient. They're going, I could sell out 15,000, but like just give it 4 years. But then they're like, but no, because I can do it now.
Yeah,
and they might have been going 5 years, but if I'd have gone 5 years and gone, I could do 20,000 tickets, I'd have been like, oh, I want to do it. But like just give it another 5, even give it another 10. Yeah, but like, fuck that.
But they don't necessarily need to get to that level. That's what I mean. Like, I think it's different. You probably need to be, because your clips are from stand-up.
Yeah.
You'd probably need to have a higher level of stand-up than someone whose clips are from sketches.
Because
they're going to see the show, and it's like, I don't think they're expecting killer stand-up. Where if they've seen you do clips online of good stand-up, they're going expecting I think people go see sketches. They're not fully expecting what they're going to see. They're probably not going to see a stand-up show. They're going to see someone they know online do a show.
Yeah, but I think even if that show wasn't great, they'd be astute enough to go, this isn't that great.
Yeah, but I think there's a difference between the show can still be good and fun and not be great stand-up, whereas great stand-up is just stand-up. Like, they could do the show and then like be silly in it, have a nice personality, talk to the audience a bit, do silly games, and then do some decent stand-up and get away with it. And the audience can go, I've been entertained for that hour.
Absolutely.
So that's fine.
Yeah.
Where they might not come away go, whereas someone who's become famous doing clips, they need to come away going, I've seen a good comic. I think there's definitely a different expectation.
Really, I feel like, because if you're getting people online regardless, and there's a lot of people sometimes that will come and obviously say, this is the first time I've ever been to stand-up or whatever. So they've not got the same sort of definitions of like what a great stand-up is, and they've not watched like, you know, they're not comparing it to fucking Richard Pryor and all this fucking shit, you know. So I do think that generally that is the case, that as long as they've been entertained, they'll have a laugh. And I think it's like, for us as comics, we're always like, I want to be the best comic I can be. But I think as long as you can entertain people for an hour, and in a way you're like, well, if I can sell these tickets, and just as long as people come away going, I've had a good night, then who's to say you shouldn't do that?
I've done some of Tam Avery's tour support. And me and Sam are quite different comics. He's a lot more cleaner. Yeah. A lot more family friend. Well, like more.
He does this stuff about being a parent and that.
Yeah, more family sort of thing. And I when I supported him, I was like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to like? And he was like, just do what you want. I'm not bothered. Like, so then you do a bit of family stuff and you get them on board, and then you start doing a bit more clubby weekend stuff. And I was getting loads of messages by people who'd never been to a comedy club being like blown away, thinking, can't believe he said that stuff on stage. As if like they couldn't leave anyone stand. And you're thinking, I'm nowhere near the line compared to what it is. And you think, you're blown away by me. You clearly haven't seen stand-up. And then, like, see, there's such a lower bar. But then they're loving what they see, and they're not like going, he wasn't as dirty as him, or he wasn't different like that. They're just happy they've been entertained for an hour.
But also with you, what is the circle like in Scotland? You won't have to travel as much now, will you?
No, I guess not. And like,
because you're a bit more known, and you can just get the gigs there.
I'm lucky I can get in the clubs a lot now, and like, so in a similar. I always think it's similar with Liverpool, Manchester. Glasgow, Edinburgh's the same. It's an hour away from each other. Yeah. There's a few different clubs, so I'm fucking at least once a week. I'm driving through Edinburgh to go and do Monkey Barrel.
So are you coming down much now?
Not as much as I used to. Like,
the big clubs, like.
I'll do some of the clubs and like, you know, still fucking try to get into the store a wee bit and hot water, Glee. Go down to Top Secret when I can, but for the most part now, I'm kind of. I've basically just done a run earlier this year of like every club gig that I do, like for fucking about 3 months in a row.
What do you mean?
I just had like loads of club circuit stuff week after week, and it's like all the Glees, the Stands, the this, that, and then I'm like,
nice, that, innit?
It's great, but I'm also like, I've not asked for more gigs yet, because I'm like, maybe I want a wee break, and maybe I could do a couple of solo shows or whatever. And I don't know what I'm going to. I kind of want to build towards a tour, so like you're going, maybe I shouldn't be like gigging every single weekend as much because of that.
What? Because you want to be more exclusive?
No, I think
give himself a chance to write more stuff and
more. Go and do midweek gigs, write more, live a bit of life, and especially if you can, like, you know.
That is one of the hard parts of stand-up. You start when you gig so much and you're so busy, you start running out of things. You're thinking, I need something to happen to be able to write something about. Yeah. I need to be living life a bit more. So like
and then you're doing what you were saying earlier on about just, you know, doing your 20 and just trying to make sure you have a good gig, but you're not getting
bleak anyway. You're thinking, God, your week's been shite. Last thing you need is a death here.
Yeah.
So you think, just have a good gig, and then at least one part of the job's been nice.
Yeah, but then you do that for 2 months, and you go, fuck, I've not made any progress.
Just have a kid. Just get someone.
And then
there's 20 minutes.
That's the other thing I'm trying to avoid doing the whole time.
20 minutes straight away. Just fucking.
Did you come down when you started? Did you come down here like? Do you have to leave Scotland a lot? Or
I
not?
used to.
Obviously, Alan Anderson was a big moaner of the British acts, complaining about doing 3 hours round to like a gig, and then he's like, "Fucking English cunts."
What was he moaning? What was he
because of the travel.
Because when we all moan about travelling, he's like, "Well, Scottish acts really have to travel."
Like Gary Meikle having to go back and forth.
I used to sometimes
done 5 hours back.
Yeah, I remember being on a flight to London with Gary, like just randomly, like we were both going to gig down south and stuff. I used to come down and do the Gong shows. I do the Frog and Bucket one, and then the Manchester comedy, like back to back.
Sunday, Monday,
So my office my old work used to have an office in Manchester. And I was like, can I do my shift for there? And like nobody like ever asked to do that.
Yeah.
So they were kind of, they had to like check, but they're like, yeah, well I guess like you just log into the same
Marc's
system.
mentally ill.
Aye, but so I used to go and do that, and I'd literally
Did
go
you
and,
ever think about getting a transfer? I
no,
living in Manchester for a bit.
no, because I never won the fucking gong. I've still never done the frog and bucket out with the fucking beat the frog.
What, you only ever done beat the frog then?
Yeah.
Shut up, you've not done a weekend?
No.
Wow.
No, but I used to go down, and I remember I remember taking my mate one time and fucking like I'd basically beat it a couple of times, but you know you need to do the
king or frog?
The king,
right.
and you do the extra minute, the clap off, and I'd never quite get the spot, and then I took my mate down and fucking get gonged off after like 30 seconds, and then like I drive back up the road just it's tough.
That is.
I had that once, a friend of a friend. So it's not even a mate that you'd see every day.
I know.
It was like someone that you'd see on like occasions and that, and they'd come because they'd heard us doing it, because like they'd been out with us that Friday or something, and they'd heard us, and they just turned up and it just got gonged off after 2 minutes. It's like, fuck.
You ever won King Gong?
King Gong? I'm talking about the frog. I'm talking about the beat the frog. There's still a situation where I never did King Gong. I never even bothered.
You never did King Gong?
No, I didn't have to.
I think I've done it more than anyone I know.
King Gong?
Between Manchester and I used to go down.
I've done it a good few times.
I went down every single month for like.
Yeah.
I never done King Gong.
Is it King Gong?
I used to go down every month for maybe about 6 months and to do the Manchester one, and then I've done the London one a bunch of times.
Never done that one.
The London one, I had a really funny thing.
That's a long way. Did you tie that in with something? Because that is a long. Manchester was far. Because I remember seeing that get gonged off from like Bournemouth after 2 seconds at Manchester. And you think, fuck.
I think actually one time I done the whole fringe and I was like just doing spots and stuff, and I thought I'm going to get a really tight 5, and then I just flew down at the end of August and done
the big moment.
And I got the 5 minutes, but then I still never got a spot because someone else beat me. But I think actually that was at the same time. It was like it's a fucking bloodbath, the London one at the comedy store, right? And about halfway through, like loads of people were getting gonged off, and I just seen this old guy sort of saddling backstage, right? And it was Mick Ferry, was the compere, and he comes out at the end of the section and goes, right guys, that's the end of the gong show thing for the section, but we've got this guy coming on, he's doing a spot, it's not part of the gong show, but he's famous, welcome to the stage, and it's a guy called Ron White, who's like big guy in America, right?
Guy,
and he comes out, shuffles on stage. Obviously, nobody actually knows who he is in London.
Massive.
And then he's like, yeah, so my fucking wife. And everyone's like, boo! Gong! Go! Off! He lasted about 2 minutes and he had to fucking walk off stage. And it's like one of the best things I've ever seen, because it was just like clearly such a fucking...
footage of that'd be
so
great.
Funny.
It was such an ego check, because like honestly, even if it was like fucking Jimmy Carr or Russell Howard or something coming out, there would have still been a bit of like...
Yeah, there's a baying of blood a little bit.
Blood, but this fucking guy, nobody's heard that.
It's funny to get the rhythm as well.
It was an amazing thing to see.
I wonder if he's ever told that story on a pod.
He did. He told it on Rogan, because I seen him not that long after, and I was like, "Fuck, I was there."
Fair play to him, because he's done King Kill Tony. He did a minute at Kill Tony. Yeah, so
That's
he must
funny.
like it somehow, I reckon. Going up to
to
the amateur comps and being like, I'll see if I can still do it. But you have to respect in a way.
Yeah, I don't think he flew. Unlike me, I don't think he flew there specifically just for that.
No. But to do it and go like, hey, would you ever do a gong show again?
No, I'm not.
See, that's what I mean.
I've done enough.
I think it's like doing your driving test again. There's too many bad habits that you end up.
This is true. Do you know the worst one ever was when I done London once? I went on stage and I hadn't even got to a punchline yet, and people started laughing, right? Which obviously is a bad thing, because you're like, what's happening? Is something happening behind me? Is my fly down? And what I realised, like, it wasn't that full that night, and most of the crowd were over to my left hand side, and there was these girls at the right hand side of the stage, all from California, and what I realised was that everybody was just looking at their faces,
right,
and they were all looking at each other just because they had no idea what the fuck I was saying.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought because they were like fit as fuck.
Well, I think they were, but
they was like,
no, they were all just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then so I noticed this, and then I start trying to speak to, you're not understanding this, and they didn't understand that. And then I couldn't, and any time I tried to start going into a bit, they would do that again, and everybody would laugh, and it was like, That's hard to manage at the best of times. Never mind when you're worried that 3 people can just put cards up and fucking gong you off the stage.
When they got someone in the front row who's just stone faced, and you know everyone can see them. Hardman Street's like that. When Hardman Street was like that, and you've got, if you can see 3 people that hate you, it's like they're fine, and they're hating you. But they're so visible. Yeah. And it's a bit like, oh, you do feel like I've got to say something about them.
You need to reference it at some point,
Well, I do. Eventually, you might do it towards the end and go like, you fucking hate me, don't you? But like, you just see them and you're just thinking, fucking hell.
Either that
or balls to sit on a front row
if you get a giggle off them and you just jump on it then.
The worst thing is...
fucking mages have got you in the end, you cunt.
The worst thing is as well, if somebody takes a picture of the gig, particularly if it's a good photo, but then just 3 people
can't even put it online now.
That's all the time. That you see a clip and you just see someone sitting there going, is he smashing it or not? They
do that filter where you put the smiles on their face.
Deep fake in the audience.
Yeah, because I love that. I love a post when someone posts a photo. I just chop off the audience and like he made the people happy sort of thing. Like look how good I am. And in reference, it could just be any old shit bit.
Ditched up, can't you? In some of the fucking photos, man.
Yeah, not half.
You look like you're on edge. Have you got somewhere to be?
No, I was just sitting up. Why did you want to?
No. You're just forward. Do you think he looked forward or not? No.
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah, he's got it's the hands, isn't it? In the pockets.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Why is that? Just
wearing a sports jacket. I don't know. We wear sports jackets, do I?
Sports jacket. Yeah, isn't that like a? Isn't like a?
Why do they always? That's what they call it in America, don't they? They call it a suit jacket. They call it a sports jacket.
Yeah. Sports coat. Yeah.
What's that about?
Why? Yeah. Why is that? No.
Why do they call them sports coats in America?
Yeah.
Because that's what you wear when you're not playing.
Right.
It's like a uniform.
Ah.
So for travelling to games and stuff. It's what you wear when you have reached a decent level of playing someone. So because I play for Liverpool schoolboys, we had to wear a blazer and tie.
Right, I thought it'd be
because you played for the Cat and Fiddle, you were fuck all, mate.
You played for Liverpool schoolboys?
I played for Sefton.
He reckons he was good, but he's shite, really. Right.
He's never seen me play. He refuses.
Everyone knows I've got it. My left foot is fucking. Mate, it's like a.
You guess I'm left-footed as well.
Oh yeah. Did you throw left, right with your right?
No.
Are you left-handed?
Left-handed.
See, there's just little things, isn't there?
That's good, is it?
Yeah, no, my left foot, I fucking miss out, mate. Put it where you want to when I'm on the pitch.
Alan Thompson.
Yeah, I'll dip it over anywhere. Stick it on a fucking sixpence, mate. You see them photos and videos of Messi where he just passes it and he just lands where it needs to land.
Yeah, you know where he megs someone from the other side of the pitch.
Can I just say, by the way, I don't know, can you say where you record this or what the place is?
Yeah, it's a sign shop, yeah.
Right, because why the fuck have he's got that? He's literally recording a sign shop and you've got a fucking...
Because it's on brand.
You've got
They've offered to make us a sign as well.
Fucking A4 bit of paper you've wrote.
Well, we're gorilla, aren't we?
It's on brand for
so he's looking at Havard going, nah, that looks too nice actually, a big glowing sign. We'll just put a fucking bit of paper. Paper up.
Too much professionalism in that now.
Like the dirty cousin who comes to the house party at like 12:30, do you know what I mean, when everyone's winding down.
But it's nice.
We had a go, didn't we?
It's like, this feels like you've taken a break and then never get back to it.
We've only paid to where you can reach.
Exactly what's happened.
Only paid to where you can reach. We
got to the point where we just fucking sweating and angry and thought, fuck doing anymore.
That'll do, yeah.
That'll be good enough. Can I ask about the tight twats table?
You can do,
It was something we started a couple of years ago. We give up after one go.
There's three people on it.
I think what happened is we had Scott Bennett should be on there as well. We had like a series of records.
That's what everyone said about Live at the Apollo for years, didn't they?
Yeah.
He should be on that as well.
Got a dream line. MC'd by the tightest twat.
Lomas has been overlooked for too long.
He's middling. We had safe hands with Dodds on at the end. Ellis, you don't know, let him over. Dodds, he's going to go up there, he'll do his time and he'll do a good job.
That's all he'll do, his time tight. It was
overlooked by Ice Cube.
For some reason, for a number of pods we had, he kept talking about end up someone money a little bit, and they're just the tightest people ever. Like, Lomas drives 58 miles an hour.
Well, Phil's got a 50 quid car.
Yeah,
Phil's bad.
Phil's terrible. Phil goes to the shop before he goes to the pub to buy the crisps the pub has. So like, whatever.
What are you like though?
Do you know, I'm pretty frivolous. I spend like I've got hundreds of money that I
I'm
don't.
very frivolous.
Yeah, because I'm always like, have that abundance mentality.
Yeah.
It'll come back. It'll come to you. It'll come to you.
Goes.
So, yeah, fuck it. I'll just, I'll try and I'll sell out a tour next year.
You did your big gig, didn't you?
The King's Theatre.
That was a ballsy move, that. Like Matt Reed, but at least yours went right. At least the person who filmed yours decided not to fuck yours up.
Yeah, well, I was very lucky with that. But thing is, I done that.
Watch Marc's special. Have you got 2 out now?
Yeah.
One
Well,
at
the
the
second one's only half an hour. But
Is that at Monkey Barrel?
Monkey Barrel recorded it earlier this year, so 2 specials out.
Was that with like £800 gorilla or something? Or was that just yourself?
No, just myself.
Because is Chris McCarthy boy got one out from there?
Yeah, from £800. Yeah.
That was his £800, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Did they not ask you about it?
Well, I could have spoke to them, but to be honest, I just wanted it out. I kind of wanted to be done with it.
Right.
And also, so maybe next one we'll see. But like,
what was the thought behind the half an hour one?
So it was my last year's Fringe show, and everyone always says, "Oh, they should be shorter."
Yeah.
And it was like I was just thought it was more of a fringy type of show. So it was the way I looked at it was like the first thing, big special, big room, punchy. That's like first
and then you just thought,
first album. well, partly
they
that.
Be short but not half the time.
Well, partly that, but the way I looked at it was like this is an EP, and it was me talking about like it was my fucking dead parent show, right?
Okay.
So like
both dead.
No. Unfortunately, otherwise I'd be a homeowner right now. But
it'd have been an hour then.
Yeah. No, but so I done that.
Both birds die. You can still only do half an hour.
And I just thought, like, let's just see what happens if you put out something short. There was other stuff in that hour, and I was just like, it wasn't really relevant, and I'm like, it doesn't need to be there, so I just took it out.
Right. So you did like a good half hour.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So when did you release that one?
Just a few weeks ago. I put it out about a month ago or something like that. Yeah, so.
And is that half an hour long, including intro bits and stuff?
Yeah,
like
it's
that?
like I think it's just under. It's like 29 minutes 50 seconds.
Oh,
or
it's
something.
just a club set, you cunt. And then you got the 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes walking into the club.
5 minutes walking into the club.
Does it go straight into?
No, do you know what? Actually,
that's the one I'm planning on. 4 minutes before, 7 minutes in. That's what I'll be doing. 44 minutes.
We'll get you to try to pay for your parking and stuff.
Have a little sketch like Dice Clay did it or something before.
Do you not think though? Like, see with those ones where they've got a sketch or something at the start. I think these days, particularly if you put it on YouTube or whatever, you think fuck, people will stop watching before they even get to seeing me go on stage.
Well, Kyle Legacy did, and that was the best part of his.
When he was playing basketball.
Then when the actual stand-up started, I turned it off. More basketball, Kyle. Because he's building the hype. It looks decent.
Why don't you just try and be the LeBron James of basketball?
No, that was a ballsy move. How big were you then when you did that? Is it King's Theatre?
1700, yeah. So, but part of me, like, so I was at that. This was another time of like, it was just before a Fringe, and when I was out in Glasgow and that, I was having enough people coming up to me, and I was done like the stand a couple of times doing wee socials, and I was like, it feels like there's more people out there that have seen my stuff or not, like, seem to know me than I thought, and I'm like, all I wanted to do was like maybe try and do like a 500 seater in the autumn after I'd done the Fringe and got an hour kind of honed. And then there wasn't really one in Glasgow, but somebody said that like you could do the Kings if you wanted. And I was like, it's a bit big, but
that is 17.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But we had like 6 months to plug it. And I thought, well, let's just give it a go. And then I done that, and then in between went to Australia, so honed it a lot there for like 4 or 5 weeks. Came back, done a wee couple of shows in the UK, and then I done it, and I sold it.
1700, that was a lot.
It was crazy, and it was like, am I going for like basically 200 to that? Such a massive jump. But the Kings is for a theatre really intimate, so it's like it feels as good as it can be for like as close to a club as like a theatre can feel. It was dead comfortable, but I only had one chance to film it.
Yeah, you weren't doing like 2 shows.
I wasn't doing 2 shows. I'm not fucking selling that twice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I
had one shot, and so I really just had to make sure that I just went in and delivered it as well. And
were you shitting yourself a bit before you went on, or were you a bit like whatever?
Do you know what I done? Is I got a tip for somebody about doing this. Is see before the show started, I went out in front of an empty room, and I done see all the bits that I wanted for clips or that I just knew the wording had to be right. I performed them and I've not even looked at any of that footage for that.
Right.
But what that done is it relaxed me, because then I went, if I do stumble over a line, we've got coverage. And then I went out and I just done it, and it just all went perfect.
So you did your pickups before the show?
Aye, because it was like, I don't think we'd have had the time after. But I would do that again, because one, it made me relax with that, and also it got me used to being on the stage with the lighting the way it was going to be, because you can't really see it anyway. So it just gave me like a practice of being on that stage and doing it. So it was a brilliant bit of advice, and I like that relaxed me, and then it was the best gig of my life by far.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that people when they do specials, they tend to do like 90% of one show, don't they? But in the end of it, there's not too much splicing together. I don't think.
No, I'd barely cut out anything for that. To be fair,
just record 2 or 3 in case something happens in the room. That's like the whole thing.
But ideally, I think the best thing, because when I done the second one, we done a 7 p.m. and a 9, and we cut between them
in Monkey Barrel.
Yeah, and I used most of the second show, but there was a few bits in the first one that.
But you could sell the Monkey Barrel. It's not that hard. Whereas doing 1700,
Yeah, but you know, we'll see what happens. It'd be nice to be able to get to do that twice. Yeah, it'd be fun. That's kind of what I'd like to do. So I'm building up a new hour that I'd like to at some point go back and do that or the equivalent in Glasgow some point next year.
Cool. Trying to get him to do a show, but he won't do one.
I know you should.
Doesn't want it looming over him.
That's the loom that ruins it.
But that's also
I know.
Step up.
I'm comforting. You know what I mean? I'm in the comfort blind. I need to get out of it, but it's so comfortable in it.
I know.
But then again, it's caused me pain.
But do you not look at
hard work, easy life, easy life, hard work.
But there's so many guys older circuit acts and that you see, and that's you see that.
I'm destined for the ship.
Sitting in the comfort. Yeah. You see where it leads you, so you've got to. And then look at all these guys around you, and they're all fucking smashing it. You've got to get a finger out.
I need to do it, do I? But I've got it. Basically, I've got the material. Like I was saying the other day, I just can't be asked ordering it.
Yeah.
I don't want to put it in an order. Well, it's like,
maybe you don't need it. Maybe that's the USP of the special.
I mean, I think it'd be a funny hour, regardless of what happened. It would be a funny thing to witness.
It was funny when it was me, you, and Colin Holt in that Glee weekend, and I just thought all you need is for Colin to direct your show, and you would be like amazing.
Yeah.
I think it'd be an interesting mix, but you should do it, man, because otherwise, what are people relying on to know how you're good? Seeing Jamie saying that you're 3-0 down in the opening for him.
I know, yeah, but I just thought, I will do it, but I'm just tired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you something else, but I've forgotten. Just give it a minute.
Do you keep these pauses in?
Yeah.
I say protect yourself at all times. Not get into the doubt.
Oh, that was it.
Unless you come with us with a time, and then I'll do it.
Your podcast, yeah.
Huh?
Some laughs has had some good clips.
Yeah. No, we've done really well. I think we've punched above our weight in terms of viral clips, I would say.
Yeah, you're doing well.
What do you reckon? What do you mean?
I think we get pretty regularly viral clips, I would say. Yeah.
How long have you been doing that one?
Just over 2 years now. So we just recorded 100th episode at the end of March in the Pavilion in Glasgow, which is nice. 1,400 seats.
Fucking hell.
Did you do... Oh, yeah, you did. Didn't your Merge was on that, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had Raymond and Chris McArthur-Boyd and Greg Hemphill, who's in Still Game, which is like the big sitcom in Scotland.
You did 1,400 for your pod?
Yeah.
Don't half get behind them, don't they, up there?
Same with Belfast, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
What, Sue's on your pod?
Not bad. But
you and who?
I think Liverpool's the best example of getting behind folk.
Well, Smith, obviously, yeah. But 1,400, that's...
It's a lot, yeah, it was cool.
We get 50.
Yeah, basically, the way I sold that...
We get 50 and we forget to advertise it.
That's
so
funny.
It's 50 people who found it.
Did you have to plug it much, or did you just know you were going to sell it?
No, I mean, it's like, 6 months, and like every episode we're plugging it and this and that. So, but it was, it was good because in the year before, we literally done, it was Easter Sunday, and the year before we'd done the Glee, it was 300, and that was like fucking cool to us at the time. So it was a big jump, but it was...
Our last live show in October, we get about 2/3 listeners that downloads, the audio, realised 2 weeks before the show, we haven't done an audio advert. We've only been advertising on YouTube.
Oh my God. Yeah, well, that'll do it.
The only people who knew about it were like patrons who we'd messaged.
The people that want to sit and watch you.
What is more concerning is some people turn up and they've never heard of the pod. That is...
That shits
me up.
4 women turned up to get out the rain. They paid the tenner to get out the rain.
That's unreal. Yeah, you do get that at live shows. You're like, why? If you're not listening, I've never got a live podcast show that I've never listened to. It's crazy, but
I think it become a theme. People just saying that in the end.
So there was that
last
one
time we were
that
there, we were just asking people, "Do you know who we are?"
Aye.
And a couple of people said no, and I think they all called on, let's just all say no.
Yeah.
So like 8 people were like, no.
Never heard
of
We get about that. It is funny in these theatres and that, because usually like now it's either just like pantos or like, you know, some play about Celtic or fucking whatever. And then we were there and they said to us during the break, they said, this security worked there for like 10 years. They said they'd never seen a bar queue like it.
Yeah, Jamie gets that at all this.
I can imagine that.
Fucking drink.
But we had...
He does the Apollo and he said the only person that goes near Liam Gallagher is Paul Smith.
Right. I can imagine.
His bar's ridiculous.
Yeah. We had a fun moment as well, because we had the guy called Darren Connell, who's probably like almost a Glasgow equivalent of Jamie. Like,
right, okay.
And he was meant to do a show at the Pavilion in the autumn or something, and then like about 3 weeks after they announced it, they fucking booked in a run of like some play and they cancelled it, and he was fucking gutting. He was like tweeting about it and fucking raging and like slagging them off and all that. And we had just thought it'd be funny to use the Royal Box, because there's a Royal Box in this thing, and thought it'd be funny to do something. So I was going to ask him anyway, do you want to come and like be in the Royal Box?
Right.
And then it was like he'd fucking got his show cancelled there, and he slagged them off, and they were all fucking raging. So we got him dressed up like the Phantom of the Opera, and we got him to come out, so he had to sneak in and shit like that. And he's like, I'm not fucking even allowed in this venue. And we done this big set piece, and it was
Did
so
you film it?
Yeah, it's filmed. It was
on Patreon or something?
The full thing's on Patreon, but we put it out as episode 100. I just thought that's a really good. I thought that's a really good. It timed in just perfect, and I thought that's a great way to celebrate.
Did you produce that yourself, or do you have somebody come in and give you sort that out? Because that's obviously a bit what we do. We just fucked around and got pissed.
We just get bladdered,
that level. Did you do it yourself, or did you get someone to
basically
help you?
myself? But I'm very lucky. Like my best mate for uni, Nick, who I just met in the first day of uni. He now is a fucking, he makes films. He's directed my specials, and he made that. So he's got like a crew, and like we can get it done for a cheaper thing than it should cost to get it through random people or whatever. So like the fact I know him, and like he even, all those viral clips I had back in the day, he used to come at the stand and just film me. Right. And so like I'm so lucky that just one of my mates,
little day one,
knows how to do that shit.
Well, like, so did you just plan all? Because what did you do at your live shows?
The stand-up ones?
Well, no, the pod ones.
What in terms of filming it?
Well, no, like, did you have any features or? Because what we've done, we've not prepared and gone. Oh, we just turned it.
I was before the Pavilion one, I was so stressed because I'm like, we have done nothing. But
because chatting in front of 1,700 people, like this is fine, but to have the confidence just sit and chat in front of the theatre with people, you think we've got to be funny.
We had a few, because that's where the guests come in, and you can think, and we just said everybody
really dip into the audience.
Everybody prepare a story, but the first bit I was the most worried about, the first like 10-15 minutes, but it was just us, and we hadn't prepared. Literally, Steve told us something, but he told us he was having nightmares the night before backstage, and literally that's what he talked about.
This is too little for such a big stage.
I was stressed out, but we did have a few features. Like we had the stuff with the Royal Box. We had a thing. Me and Stuart are going to be Steve's best man, so we had a thing. We done like the Mr. and Mrs. thing, and it's like who's Steve's best man, and like that was fun, and we had a laugh with that. So and then obviously bringing in the guests, like Mearns stole the show at the line of the night, right? Because he'd always told us a story backstage years ago about him. Like he said, like he shagged somebody in a graveyard one time or whatever, right? And then so he's like on stage giving it all the Mad Dog Guy parties, like, you youngins these days, what are your phones? We had to find porn in the bush and all that stuff. And then Steve's just like, Steve always hits out with the thing that like he's just so blunt with it, and he goes, Raymond, did you know shag someone else in a graveyard? And he goes, aye, and the worst part about it is I thought they were dead. And it like got the fucking biggest laugh and the applause, and I'm like, it was just great. But see somebody like Raymond, like, you know what it's like on the circuit as well, like he's one of those guys everybody loves in the circuit, and like he's so funny backstage and all that, and see the fact, but see if you'd not seen him live, or maybe like seen him in wee bits and pieces he's done, you wouldn't know him, but then he comes on the pod and he's just the way he is, and then suddenly so many more people see him that way. That's a great thing about these type of mediums now, I think.
That is good about the new way of getting followers, getting people out there, is that people like him don't go missed anymore.
Absolutely.
It used to be like loads where you think,
well, because Mick, I always think Mick Ferry's like the big one here, like as a comparison to Raymond or something, you know, like
Ferry, he's probably one of them.
Slip through the net and you're like, they should have been more than what they was.
Absolutely.
It's even like podcasts are really good for someone like Jamie, who you're not just, even though he's great on stage, not just reliant on the stage thing for, you need to know everything about Jamie to really get what he is. Like, he was still a killer of a weekend, but like once you know him and and the pod and you know his background and where he comes from and what his life is like, his stand-up is so much more impactful, sort of thing.
Absolutely.
It's so much more like, because you're with him on the journey.
Yeah.
Whereas over a weekend you can't really take people on that journey with you. It's like he's someone who might have slipped through the net, and there's so much about him, sort of thing. If it wasn't
absolutely.
God, I wish he did slip through the net. He'd be funny. Go on, to the gigs where me and him were gonna die in our arse in St. Helens.
I remember meeting Jamie like when I'd go and do the gongs in Manchester and stuff like that, and just like
we always thought it was going to be me and him doing shit gigs in the 50s.
Hot Pot Boys, yeah.
And then he fucked it off, and he's Captain Scatino with that idea.
You're like, we had a fucking deal.
Get back on the fucking plane. Oh, sorry. I'm there going down with the shit, and he's fucked up.
They were both not married by 40.
Yeah. The funny thing is about it as well, because like you're saying earlier on about you're not fat enough to moan about it and stuff like that. You're not as fucked up enough as Jamie that people get on board with.
I think I'm more. I think that's the fucked up thing. I said that to him because I think I'm more, but I've got a mask to keep up.
Yeah.
Because I'm from this sort of lower middle class sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I've got a mask, so I can't just go, this is...
You just let
everyone's got a load of shit.
Yeah.
But you
can't lay it bare.
Yeah, I can't lay it bare because there's too much... There'll be too much fallout.
Yes.
There'll be my private life would be chaos.
Too many people will be impacted.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not worth it. The game's not worth it for them go, can I have a photo in Tesco? Isn't worth people on your phone going, I fucking hate you, you're a cunt.
Yes.
So you're thinking, you know what, let's just keep the mask up and live that pain. Whereas Jamie's just allowed to just fucking
let it
bleed and all that. And I'm thinking, God, that's a freedom there. It's another thing, Mark. It's everybody else's fault. That's what that.
Right, on that note, Mark, where can we find you? What have you got to promote?
Yeah, follow me at Marc Jenko on most stuff. Got 2 specials out. Original Sound live at King's Theatre in Glasgow, and the other one's called Away From Here. It's half an hour long. If you like some more stuff that's kind of sad.
Is Some Laughs.
Some Laugh podcast. We've had Jamie on. We've had who else have we had on? Ishan. All the mad guys.
Trying to think of all the
Raymond
Mearns, Gary Little,
no,
they're the ones
real heroes.
Raymond and Gary.
Don't find people like you wouldn't know.
Phil Ellis's episode was one of my favourites. Actually, Phil was brilliant.
Good.
So check out Some Laugh if you haven't already.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
in a bit.
for doing it. See ya.